abandoned police station. I'm sure, I don't know, most people here are kind of aware of it as well. My original idea was to do Death in Venice. Are you familiar with the story of this novel by Thomas Mann? Yep. Yep. So it really is about these two characters. Okay, I'm going to distill it a lot. Gustav von Eschenbach, who is this kind of burnt out artist, goes to Venice for vacation, and then becomes deeply entrenched with this young Polish boy named Tadzio. And I am a bit interested in the story, if not only because a lot of my interest now is thinking about my great-great-uncle, Avram Alter, who went missing after he was deported from the US back to Poland. And I'm interested about this distance, so the distance between Gustav and Tadzio, and then I thought I could explore the distance between myself and this photograph. And so my idea was to stage such a thing with this inflatable doll I had, and then the photo of Avram, and think about the distance between these things. And then when we were trying to figure out for Werkstatt where to put everything, one of the ideas was to do it in these prisons. And I was really interested in this idea because one could maybe explore this idea of prisons and that distance between that and then reality. And I thought this could be an interesting idea. And I'm going to take you in there now, but I need to tell you that it is a prison and you'll be in an encounter with these cells, and it's also a very closed space, so just so you know before we go inside. Alright, I'll take you in. Yeah. If you want to join. Yeah.
I like this corner.
I have something to say about this corner.
Nice.
So it became abundantly clear that I couldn't do Death in Venice in here. It says this space is far too strong, and it would be so bizarre taking a story in a completely different context and putting it here. But I had different ideas about what I actually could do with this space, and one of the ideas is if I am here, and for example, this cell is closed, they could not see if I am here or if I am here. And so what I thought I could do is explore what is concealed in the space and what is revealed in the space. And I was thinking I could put myself here, or the inflatable doll here, or here, and then film those two spaces with a camera, for instance, and project it into the other space. And then I could play with this idea that an audience would have to choose between the live and the hidden, or the mediated and the completely revealed. And by the way, the lights go out every 2 minutes. 1 second. And the other reason why I like this idea, we can come back into the hallway. because what's actually on the doors, for instance, I know it's hard to see, but we could try to collect somehow. For example, we know that maybe there was a Lucas here on the 20th of January 1998, or a Kenny. And then this amazing note, which actually I translated from the Romanian, and it says something like, I am in Limburg, the cups are in Ludwigsburg. He brought me to visit him in Limburg on the 30th of January, and every month I went to see him. I received 2 letters. One is from the guard. Sad. The anarchy sign. And then I thought there's a lot to work with here, and there could maybe be something I could do with the information that is given but so much that is not. And I thought I could make also like a speculative history of the space, and I could do storytelling about a speculative fiction somehow. Also, because speculative fiction is so much of my own practice. With Avram that I was mentioning out there, my great-great-uncle, I use a lot of telling stories about what his life could have been. And actually, one of the things I did even is to write his name on this jail cell. But as soon as I did this, I felt an overwhelming sense of shame. Because this felt really, really selfish. Like, what is Avram's name here? What does he do in the space? Why does he actually belong here? And the day after, and I'm going to do this so that it doesn't go off again. And the day afterwards, I brought my professors Melanie and Bernhard into the space, and I talked about the shame that I felt with Avram and also the ethical issues of using this space. And they mostly agreed with me. Sorry. Here we go.
So are the tiles original from the cells?
Yes.
No?
And yeah, they told me how much the space is put at risk by me even being inside of it. And any storytelling that has to do with the space makes it so that I'm forced to think about the history of this place, also the history of prisons, history of institutions, history of captivity, domination. And these are things that are so large, and I wasn't sure if I was ready to deal with that, actually. And then shortly afterwards, my really good friends Tepe, who's also in the MA Performance program, and Tomomi also came into the space. Tepe agreed also with my concerns. But Tomomi was an architect, and Tomomi is really interested in the future of spaces, naturally. And she was pointing out that there's new power outlets here, that there's new light switches here. And actually, one of the other things they did is they helped me to translate the kanji, which is also on the door.
This is Germany,
Yeah.
and I don't know.
This is a dragon in Chinese style, and so dragon style means something like this. I don't know, or and the phrasing.
This is mouse. No,
It's what?
mouse or
Mouse?
No, I think it's 나가잖아요 지금. 지금 나.
でもこれのなんかわかんない。でもここがこうなってるのか。
Okay.
いやでもローの中だから。
わかんない。
ローの中もしっくりきますね。Maybe inside.
It's also so unsettling to be. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's inside, and this is これ3層目。
だって
なんだ
涙。
It's here.
Here? Okay, wait, so, wow.
This is Germany.
Germany and dragon is star. and in the present and here. I don't know. Can be totally mistranslating, but like for me it's like something like that. And I don't know what it means.
And after this, I also started to realize that this is very difficult to inscribe. When I inscribed Avram's name, it took a lot of pressure and it was really difficult to make these marks, which means this took a really long time, especially because these bars are curved. And then Tepe asked the question if this was a student or not. And I don't know, actually, and I still don't know the answer to that. But then it made me think, what else on this door was a person that we associate the history with, and how much on this door is actually a student? And then, if that's the case, what else are we bringing into the space that's our projection of it? What are we taking from the inside and putting into the space? And how does it reduce it? If not only by the fact that every time I want to turn on the light in here, I have to wave to that motion sensor that's outside in the new parts of the building. So, the question comes of, what can you do here? We can ask. And it made me think that even being in here now is actually a failure for the space. And that anything in here could be a failure too. All right. And there's one more thing, actually. Sorry, before we go over there. Is that Tepe and Tomomi and I also talked about the fact that they labeled the door and they put a number on it as if the school wasn't done with it yet, that it was still ready for future use.